Hello, guys. Okay, so we are live. The plan for today is to continue what we were doing last week. So last week, quick recap. I worked with, I think was Claude on was Claude or JWT? Don't remember. But the, one sec, double audio coming through. Cool. Yes, last week we had the JWT CLI. So what I created was a JWT CLI that was able to create. Sorry, still trying. Was able to validate a JWT against the OpenID Connect. So you can send a JWT to the on the CLI with the configuration that points to an OIDC, well-known OIDC configuration URL, and that is immediately validated and returns true or false. That was very, very simple thing. So we also asked the AI to write a couple of tests. So it wrote the tests, and we ended up with something that was okay. We didn't do the full review. We also wrote an integration test, and I made it public on GitLab. What we're going to do today is testing that in do a real test of that. The way I want to do that real test is deploying it in GitLab. So we're gonna create the pipeline in GitLab. So I need to create a runner. I had a cluster running on my old laptop, but it's not working anymore. So we're gonna try to have a runner somewhere so we can test the JWT CLI. So I can quickly go through the code if you want. So let me do this. Should be able to see the code now. Okay, so this is me trying to recover the cluster. We're going to check later on that. And what we have here is our repo with main.go. This one is, I'm pretty sure I sent the file, but this doesn't look like has been pushed. Let me have a look. Git push, set upstream origin main, git status. Nothing to comment. Okay, no, it's fine. It's just, yeah, it's fine. Okay. So what we are doing here, we are using Cobra for the CLI. And we have a test here with few things that we are testing. And then there's the function here. So the main.go is only taking care of the CLI. So we have the root command, validate the JWT using OIDC configuration. We read the OIDC configuration from an environment variable, and then we invoke the function validate JWT. This function accepts the JWT itself that is passed on the command line, the OIDC config URL that is coming from the environment variable, and then we inject an HTTP client. So one of the things I asked the AI was to create a testable code. So using dependency injection, it worked. So it did what I was expecting. And then let's have a look at the validate function. This function is doing, is simply accepting, doing a parameter validation, returning errors in case some of the parameters are incorrect or missing. Then after that, we are curling, well, we are fetching the OIDC config using the URL. And then from that, we are going to get the, if we get status okay, we're going to decode the JSON. And decoding the JSON will give us the value of the keys that we need to use to, it's going to give us the keys that we need to use for the verification of the signature. So if the verification passes, we return true. Otherwise, we return false. Easy, very easy piece of code. Now, what we want to test this code. To test this code, if we're gonna build this in a pipeline and execute in the same pipeline the build artifact. When we execute in the pipeline, GitLab itself has a JWT in the context, so we can use that JWT to see if everything works, and we can validate against the CLI. Cool. So now, first things first, we need a runner in order to test this. So I'm gonna create a runner on this machine that I have. So if I go on GitLab here, the JWT is our service. I'm gonna simply click on CI/CD, runners. I'm probably gonna create a local runner. We call this JWT CTL. Runner description. Nothing. Okay, this is fine. What type of runner? Linux, containers. Copy and paste the following command into your command line to register the runner. Okay. So how do we install GitLab runner? Yeah, I know I shouldn't show you this. I will delete the runner after. Actually, I can probably generate another one. Cool. Let me do that in private session. Okay. Leave this. Runners. I'm gonna remove this runner. Removed. Okay. And now I'm gonna create another one. Sorry, but you're not supposed to see that. Otherwise, I can end up with problems. Cool. So what I'm doing at the moment, I got the token from the runner, and I am going to put that inside my configuration. I want to see if the cluster works. Okay. I have a runner up and running. Let me check again the So checking the runners, I don't see the runner available in this. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna change the configuration for the other runner that I have so that it will match this configuration and re-update and see if everything comes up. Okay, now I can share my screen. Sorry for being paranoid, but that's no way, it's my job. So this is, we may go through this setup another day, but this is my local Kubernetes cluster running on a old laptop. So I'm using K3s, Cilium, Helm, and then set up the GitLab namespace. Then what I'm doing now is doing the setup of the replacing the secret. So I modified the file 05 create GL token secret. Already exists. I need to delete that. So kubectl delete. -n GitLab doesn't have resource org. Oops, delete secret. Okay, secret deleted. Now I'm gonna recreate the secret recreated. So now let's have a look at the 06 setup org runner. This is not an org runner, the one I'm doing the setup for. So what I can do is kubectl delete -f gl runners.yaml, deleted this, and now I'm going to create it again with this command. So this should create the runner. We can check kubectl get pods -n GitLab -a. We have the runner is up and running, started 16 seconds ago. Let's have a look now if we can see a runner here. Yes, the runner is here. I'm happy. Okay, we have a runner. Now, what we want to do, we can go back to our, what do we want to use? Let's use Cloud. And we want to create a GitLab pipeline to build and test to test and build a Golang project. Let's start with this. Let's see what we get. Okay, so Go variables, Go version 1.20, Golang version 1.20. We need to check this image is valid. Go mod download. Go test. Looks good. Let's try and see. We're gonna copy this, go back to our code, add the GitLab file. So the GitLab file is .gitlab.yml fitlab. Oh, I just invented something new. It doesn't sound bad. GitLab. It's like this or with dash. No, it should be like this. Let me see. Is it telling us the name of the file? GitLab CI, that's where the dash is. Yeah, GitLab CI. Paste. Okay. I don't want to call this my app. We're going to call this JWT CTL. So JWT. Let's push and see what happens. Git status. Oops, wrong window. Git status. Git add dash git add. Git commit. Adding GitLab pipeline. Git push. Yep. Okay, now we can go back to this. Is this going to build anything? So we have the file here. This one is running. Ah, where is it running? I think in a standard public GitLab runner. I want to run on my GitLab runner. So what was the name of our GitLab runner? Let's go and have a look. We tagged the GitLab runner with CI/CD runners .ctl. Now we go back to Cloud. We say we want to use a self-hosted runner tagged with okay, so default tags. There is also another thing we have to check is one, the version that we use locally is slightly different, right? So if I open my Go is 1.22. So let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at this. 1.22, we align the version. And then we use self-hosted runner git status, git add, git commit, the sham, switching to self-hosted runners, git push. Okay, we push that. Let's have a look now what it's gonna do. Pending. Let's see if this is gonna pick the job. Yes. Waiting for pod GitLab runner to be running. Status is pending. Pod active. Deadline seconds will be set to. Okay. Nice. No URL provided. Cache will not be downloaded. Okay. Go test. So we have this one terminating. Wondering why did it finish? Job succeeded. We built our artifact. No URL provider. Cache will not be. Okay, this is still. Okay, so apparently we built our. We passed the test. Very minimal effort so far. So stage build, we passed the build. Go mode build. Okay. Now, the other thing we want to do is check the job. So now, what I want to do, let me have a look at the GitLab OIDC JWKS configuration. So the variable that we want to use is this one. ID token, GitLab OIDC token. I'm pretty sure we do we need these ID tokens? GitLab ID tokens. Introduce global CI config for ID tokens. I want to see if what is needed to get the ID token. Oh, you know what? We can ask our friend. How can I print the GitLab ID token? To bring the GitLab ID token in your pipeline, you can use the CI JWT predefined variable. This variable contains the JSON Web Token JWT that can be used to authenticate. Okay, so now in the pipeline, I want to let me see. The app we are building in the pipeline is called JWT CTL. Can you please change the name of the build artifact? JWT CTL accepts a JWT token as parameter, and what's the name of the environment variable we use to configure OIDC config URL as parameter, and looks for the env variable OIDC config URL for a variable OIDC config URL for a full for the OpenID configuration endpoint, you can use the GitLab public one. Can you add a stage that tests the build artifact using the JWT CTL command and the GitLab JWT? The expected return value is true, a string. Let's see. Okay, configuration is correct. I didn't say this to be 22. JWTCTL, the tag is correct. Is building, is testing first, building, and then is testing the artifact. It's export. Why are you exporting this in this way? You shouldn't. If it's here, it should be available. I can test that. Echo JWT result. Okay, it's printing the result. If the result is not true, then exit one. Okay. May work, may not. Let's have a look. Gonna modify our pipeline. I'm gonna set again 0.22. And we can see that the new stage has been added. This has been changed. Only this has been changed. What else? And then this has been added. Didn't change much, but let's see. Git status, git add, git commit, test with GitLab JWT. Git push. Okay, pushed. Let's go back to our pipeline. GitLab CI/CD. And sorry, not CI/CD. Let's go back here. Failed. I go to pipeline editor. Something is off somewhere. Is this incorrect type? This CI configuration is invalid. Test job test artifact script should be a string or a nested array of strings up to 10 levels deep. I think there is some indentation. It doesn't look like it's indentation, but it's flagging this as a problem. Can anybody see that? I think no one is watching at the moment. Syntax is correct. Okay. Echo. I don't get what's wrong with this. Is this variable? the colon. Yeah, why? What's wrong with the colon? If I dropped it, oh. Okay, I need to escape the colon, I think. Do I escape? If I use single quotes, single quotes is not gonna work. How do I escape? You know what? I just remove from here, but I'm gonna do this change from here. It's like this gonna work. Let me search. How do I escape colons in YAML? Okay. Okay, I don't wanna waste more time on this. Let's see if that works. This is just reactivate. Status git add, git commit, adding fixing GitLab CI syntax error. Git push. Okay, so now we push this. What are we gonna do? Gonna watch it failing again on GitLab. Yeah, I don't want to change this. And it failed again. Invalid YAML again. Go to pipeline editor. Okay, let me remove this colon. We can investigate later how to change that. Oops. How many times do you type colon WQ in terminals that are not in editors that are not VI? I don't know, I do. Sometimes I do in Slack as well. Git status, git add. I'm gonna create one command with git add and then git commit git commit dash m fixing syntax error and then git push origin main and go. Let's go back. Okay, now the syntax is not incorrect, at least. And we are building. You may wonder why I am doing this. So what I want to do, what are the use cases? I want to be able to validate a request coming from a GitLab pipeline, right? And be able to make sure that request is being generated as part of that pipeline execution. Why? Because the job that is issued during the pipeline is valid for the duration of the pipeline. Well, at least this is true in GitHub. I assume in GitLab is similar. And because of that, you know that someone approved the merge request for that pipeline, which means it's authorized to run. So that token means that whatever job is calling you, whatever event is triggering you, is triggering the pipeline, that can be validated, right? So I didn't explain this properly because I got distracted by the error that I can see. Let's have a look and see why it failed. Oh, it couldn't find JWT, the command, because it's probably not stored as a artifact. So now we are gonna ask Claude, because I thought he was doing something with this cache. I don't know exactly how this works, right? Is the cache something that you can pass between one job and the other? Let's get the error and share it with Claude and see what is. We go here and we say in the test artifact stage, I received the following error. I apologize for the oversight. The error you encountered is likely due to current working directory not being in the path. Let's modify test artifact stage to ensure we can execute JWT binary. Is it? Is that the reason? Okay. I also had another error on this line. Let's see if I did. Apologize for the oversight. Due likely variable expansion not working as expected in the pipeline. What is it suggest? Oh, it broke it down in two? I don't know why. Okay, we can try. So this part is still the same, this part is still the same, this is still the same. I think we only want to change this. Oh, I just noticed that you can explain just a section of the code. Interesting. So this one depends on build. And now, what did it change? I'm not sure this is gonna work. Let's try first, and then we investigate. Git. We have our fix syntax error, fix test error. Let's go back. Let's look JWT. Pipeline is not running. Why? Why this is not running? Oh, it is running. It's not showing on the main page. Oh, it took just a little bit longer. Okay. So the syntax is valid now. So the double quotes solve the issue. I don't know why it was an issue. So test passed. We haven't really checked the test that we created, so we should spend a little bit of time on that. And this one passed, and the next one failed. I think it failed for the same reason. Downloading artifact from coordinator, executing step script stage of job artifact, export to OIDC config, chmod, line 114, JWT not found. Okay, let's read what we are actually doing. JWT is the name of the file we are building. The artifact is this, but we're still getting the same error. Export to OIDC config URL. So before I mess up with this, still getting this error. So what do you tell me? For the persistent issue, if we are still encountering the not found error, it suggests that there may be a problem with how the artifact is being passed between stages and how the working directory is being set. Let's try a more comprehensive approach to troubleshoot and resolve this issue. Here is an updated version of the pipeline with the additional debugging steps. You know what I think is that pair programming may change forever. Look at this conversation. I feel I am pairing with someone. It's so hard to see what is gonna happen because some people may love this because you can get an incredible speed, but some others so if you don't get the right answer from the AI and you are junior, you may start chasing rabbits, and that's not fun. It's exhausting. So I don't know. How would you use AI? Let's say you are the owner of a startup and you have to decide how people should write code. Should they pair with AI, with another human, with AI and the human? I don't know. Okay, so we got this one here. Still the same for test and build. The test artifact now, I didn't change anything in the test artifact. It's suggesting to add this. The test artifact is doing ls and then showing a little bit of what we should expect there. If you're using a very restricted shell, you might need to use set x at the beginning of your script to enable debug mode. Let's try with this first. I think this is gonna break, so it didn't learn from the previous comment. So we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do this. Okay. Echo row result, JWT result is the same. JWT file type. Okay. Well, it failed. The only thing that is relevant is this now. And maybe this. The location where we are. To be honest, I think we should do one simple thing. We're building there. We should do this. And I'm gonna do this in the meantime. Because I don't care to create this test. I want to see the output of the JWT. So I'm gonna do this. Git add, push. And now, looking at the pipeline, jobs. Do we have one pending? Yes. Okay. I got one like. Thank you. Job succeeded. Wait, where is the pipeline? So this is the build, the test. Is it? Test. And then this one should do also what we want to do. So after we build, the file should be there. Oh, result is false. Interesting. Can we print this? Ah, of course it's false. Because we don't, well, we should have this variable. OIDC config URL. Because it's here. Do I need to export the variable? Let's see the second job. Well, the third stage failed as we were expecting. JWTCTL is here. The variable is here. We can change this. And then we're saying file not found. choice of GitLab. Export OIDC config URL. So this one is not failing, but this one is failing. Any suggestion? Echo OIDC config URL. Export OIDC config URL. chmod. So the file is here. It's already executable. We don't need to do anything. Should be able to just execute the file. I don't get this. So in this case, the job exists, the file exists, and is executable. It is also executed. So echo, is this variable correct? Again, so let me try to execute the /jot. Let me build it first. Go build -o .jtctl. /jtctl ./jtctl and what else we need the jot. Okay, and the environment variable. If I do this, config is not set. That's what we expect. If I do this, export, false. That's what we expect. So now I'm gonna do two things. One, print the CI jot in the pipeline. This may not work because it may be protected. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna work, but let's see. Then we run this. I also want to run the same command, but in here. Fixing syntax error, fixing error. Git status. Okay, we don't care about the git status, it's just muscle memory. I don't know why I keep doing that. Pending. Cool. So feel free to leave a message if you're watching. I will feel less lonely. So this one is returning false. This one is not echoing the value. I think if I split so let me Google this command first. How to unmask. Wow. So this is downloading JQ and then running JQ to split. I think you can split this with simple Linux commands. That's what I'm gonna try. Obviously not gonna bother, but just ask. How can I split the CI job jot? But it's not the CI job jot. I don't know. Is this the jot that we want? How can I split the CI job jot? Wait a second. I think it's not this the jot that we want. Okay, so if we go back to this, right? We have an ID token, GitLab OIDC token, audience. This, I think I need this inside my pipeline. Where is this done? There's a whatever we have the script. And then our audience is GitLab, I think, right? And the variable that we want to use is the GitLab OIDC token, not the CI job token. I think this is what we need, not the jot token. Probably we need this in here too. If this works, I'll explain why I think we need to do this. But if it doesn't, I'll save you lots of bullshit. Let's have a look. Building. It's already 1 hour that we are talking. Yes, 1 hour and 54 seconds. I want to just make sure this works. We're going to spend a few more minutes on this and then I'm going to say goodbye, and it's a problem for next week. May not be able to join next week, don't know. Job succeed. Wow, I was right. Job return true. Nice. What about the last job? This one failed, but still don't know why it's failing if the file is there. Keep saying the file not found. Is there a typo somewhere? Nope. It should work, but it's not working. Okay. So why I've added this? Because in a very similar way in GitHub, in order to have this working, you need to enable a flag, which is something like ID token, right? Token ID, I think it's called in GitLab. Let me have a look. I can be more specific. It's called GitLab GCP temporary credentials. Not GitLab, GitHub. Enabling. Let me see if I'm still. Not anymore. Oh, yes, that's me. Still on the first page. I know, I'm flexing. ID token, I think it's called. Where is GitLab? Oh no, it's ID token, right? So in order to have that OIDC token in GitHub, you need to enable this, right? This flag. And I thought something similar must be necessary in GitLab. And by looking at this example here, we see that there was no reason to add this, right? So it's enabling ID token with a specific OIDC, with a specific audience, and then is passing this variable as a web identity token, which means this is the actual ID token that we want to validate, not the job one. And I'm happy that we had this working. So now I will probably remove the test artifact bit. Artifact path. Why it's not working? I really want this to work, but I don't care now. So this works, and I will remove this for now, and I will kill my GitHub runner, GitLab runner. Cool. Hope you enjoyed this session, and if you haven't, don't join next. Sorry, I'm very bad today. Yeah, hope you enjoyed this continuation of the JWT test. See you in a week, and don't forget to like. I got 1 like. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe. And I remember, I want to, as a reminder, we have our community on lab.outofdevops.com, and I am posting a summary with the link to the videos that we're doing. So I didn't do the last one, the JWT Validator CLI. I'm gonna add that, and I will also add the one that we have today. We have done today. Just join so you can ask questions. Cool. Thanks again. See you in a week. Bye.